Need coffee for this one. What's going on, peeps? So today isn't going to be a Grand Blue Fantasy video. Today I want to talk a little bit about anime, another hobby that I'm into. More specifically, a question that kind of arose due to some things I've seen and read online, and due to some conversation that I've had online as well. So first, I just want to pose the question out there just to kind of get things started. You can kind of see it in the title and everything too. Why do people watch anime that are out of their comfort zone or out of the genres they like? And then in turn, why do they watch these things and then turn around and complain about them? Not saying they're right or wrong, just a question. Why watch anime out of your comfort zone? So recently this season, what kind of triggered this question in me and things that I've seen going on online is a new comedy Aichi series that I'm sure some of you might know of. Isekai Mao to Shokin Shoujo no Dore Ma Jutsu. Long Japanese name. Pardon my Japanese, I'm still learning, so pronunciation sometimes is a little hard. But anyway, the English name to that is How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. The tags, if you look it up on my anime list, are comedy, fantasy, and magic. They kind of omit the ecchi tag there, but when I think of ecchi series, I think more along the lines of something like Tu La Rue or High School DD. Which actually has nudity and much more sexual content behind it. The ecchi in this series so far, through 2 episodes, mind you, it's only been 2 episodes so far, has been mostly to comedic effect, your typical anime accidental boob squeeze and things like that. So, you know, no real nudity, just some funny things implied and mostly used to a comedy effect. Nothing has been overly, I would say, explicit. I would put this show in a more Western terminology as maybe like a PG-13 kind of a show. So there's that. I've seen people already all over the place talking about the show being trash, garbage, not another one of these, etc., etc. But most of the people I have personally seen and read saying these things are people that say that about any show like this. And not just that, but they're people that tend to almost always seem to watch shows like this and then turn around and complain about them. So I just want to repeat the question. Why watch anime if that genre, those tags, don't match your interest? So I wonder sometimes why people then do complain about the show. If they do watch something like this, is it because they truly want to help people to avoid a show that they think is trash? Do they do it just because they enjoy complaining? Do they do it because they are trying to be some type of critic of anime? This usually isn't the case, though. I'm not trying to rub people the wrong way. I'm just as guilty. I'm as hypocritical as some of these other people are doing these things. I complain about anime too, but that's why I'm kind of posing this question out here for other people to maybe try and get a conversation going and see where we stand on this. If you know ahead of time what the anime is by these tags, by the various websites that they're on, etc., why watch them? If you don't know, then I recommend doing a little bit of research. Maybe some of you haven't watched anime as long as someone like me or other people in the community, but there's a wide breadth of information and websites out there. Everything leading up to, that from Anime News Network when things first get posted and hyped up, even like Crunchyroll forums, Reddit, Twitter, Facebook. There's all kinds of Facebook groups out there. People post about this. There are people talk about anime coming out from light novels and manga, and visual novels, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of information out there. My personal favorite site to go to is Anime Planet. Not that I'm trying to plug them or anything like that. Obviously, I'm too small here. This is only like my third video now, so no sponsors, nothing like that. I just personally like that site. Yeah. So as an example, on the Anime Planet website, there are more tags. They even include the ecchi tag on there as well. So like I said, there are lots of sources out there where you can kind of get an idea of what the show is going to be before it ever even comes out. Now, on the flip side of that argument, to kind of defend people who do these kind of things, maybe they are watching these shows because they really are trying to find that right one, the one of that genre, that is going to kind of flip the script for them, that is going to kind of turn them into a fan. See, kind of coinciding with that, maybe they're just really picky about anime. So they are just kind of searching. They really want to find that one that's really just going to draw them in and kind of be their hype show of that particular season or that particular genre. So I can't really fault people for that. I can fault people, though, who repeatedly just complain after complain after complain and then don't say anything positive about anything they do. But I digress. We'll kind of get onto that later. Maybe this was that person's first time watching a show of this particular genre. Cool. Fine. I get it. You're like, oh man, why did I watch this? This thing was garbage. Okay, good. But then why do you say this about this show and this show and this show and this show? Why is it nothing but pure complaining? Or perhaps you are really trying to challenge yourself to kind of broaden your horizons on shows that you don't like and look for characters that, kind of might turn you on to a particular genre, looking for a story that might turn you on to it. Maybe you're just trying to break your own mold of like maybe you're kind of stuck in a rut with you watching the same types of shows over and over again. So just as a little bit of background, I've watched anime for over 30 years now. Ever since I was a real small boy, started watching, well, I didn't even know it was anime back then, but Kimba the White Lion used to come on, pretty sure it was Saturday morning cartoons. It might have been Sunday morning, though, back when I was a kid in Virginia. And for the longest time, I only really watched mecha anime. Your Macrosses, your Pat Laborers, your Gundam series. Like I still love Gundam. As a matter of fact, action shows, adventure shows, Dragon Ball, things like that nature. And then as I got older, I kind of started branching out a little bit more. I started liking more slice of life shows, more rom-com shows, etc., etc. Just a few years ago, some people that I've kind of gotten to know through the anime community kept telling me, you've got to watch Shokugeki no Soma, Food Wars. Excuse me a second. Coffee. Anyway, they were like, you like to cook, obviously. I like to cook. I like to eat. They're like, you like shonen shows. You like fighting shows. They're like, imagine it as Iron Chef, but in an anime form with some really cool character designs, cool voices, etc., etc. And I was like, I don't want to watch a show about cooking. I don't want to. I put it off and put it off, put it off. So finally, when I had some time, I binged the first season in like a day, and I fell in love with it. And now I purposely look for shows related to cooking. Like another one a couple seasons ago, Sweetness and Lightning. That show was great. Or Restaurant to Another World, etc., etc. There's so many cool shows out there with that food tag. So I look for shows like that now. Are they all perfect? No. There's some that I don't like. But hey, I know that I kind of like that genre. kind of the opposite of what the topic of this video is about, because I did give it a try and I didn't hate on it. Another example I could say is something like most yandere characters in shows I don't like. Now you can see, behind me here, I have Mirai Nikki, or Future Diary wall scroll, which, you have Yunogasai, who's known as the yandere queen to a lot of people, or like Kurumi from Data Live, things like that. There's a few exceptions out there, but typically I don't like that. I don't like, shows dealing with a lot of murder, or a lot of gore, a lot of despair, downer shows, things like that. But even then, there are a few exceptions to that. Or more recently, we had Reinai Bokan, I think you said it, or My Love Tyrant, or just Love Tyrant. And then you had Akane from that show, that she was complete yandere, but it was done in a completely comedic way, and it was hilarious. She was one of the best characters on the show. So like I said, there are exceptions out there, so I implore people to go out there and try some shows and tags that you don't like from time to time, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, I am just speaking personally about this. If there's a show out there that you really like, that you might think that other people have made a wrong judgment call about it and things like that, please post about it. Please talk about it. This is how we grow the community, how we grow the fandom, how we get more of the shows that we want to see. If you're tired of seeing a particular show out there and you feel the need to complain about that, maybe take a step back, take a breather, and start hyping up the shows you really like. Start, saying why you think this show would be a really good show. Another reason why I like Anime Planet, you can actually go on there and people have recommendations. If you click on a show, there will be a thing on there that says, if you like this, I recommend this, and some user has recommended it, and they'll put reasons as to why. Similar characters, similar overarching plot, similar time, etc., etc. So like I said, there are ways out there to kind of combat this kind of stuff. All that said, though, I feel that there are a lot of anime fans out there who simply complain too much. I'm not innocent about it. I complain aplenty. I know I do. So this might be a little bit hypocritical, but it's part of my reasoning behind a video like this. There's a lot of, popular hyped anime out there. I'm kind of known as an anti-hype monster, that if something gets hyped, I'll tend to already want to dismiss it, but I try to break that mold about it. Ultimately, I'm seeing far too many of the same people. Maybe that's not a good term, but I'm just seeing too much of an instance of more negativity than positivity out there, where it seems almost like people are looking for something to complain about, as I said earlier in this video. There's a lot of shows that I hype that end up completely getting ridiculed and people telling me I'm stupid for liking whatever. Okay, that's your opinion. I get it. But I also don't need to hear it 24 different times. This tends to be the case, though, in a lot of pop culture. It's not just anime, obviously. It's movies. It's music. It's comic books. I love comic books. I've collected comic books, I would say, as long, if not probably longer, than collecting anime, manga, etc., etc. It seems that, though, I think in the anime community, I think it's a little bit more, just in my own perception, of people enjoying being critical of anime more than people seem to enjoy it in something like a comic book. People purposely look, I think, like I said, this is just from my personal view, people personally look for things that they can bash on. And like I said, I'm not calling names out there or anything like that. I'm known to kind of troll and haunt the Crunchyroll forums quite a bit myself, and on Twitter too. And when you see some people who make post after post after post after post, but it's almost always complaining, saying this is trash, you're stupid for liking this, etc., etc. Come on, guys. and gals, excuse me. Don't be that person. Help grow the community. It is 100% within your right to complain about a show and say why you don't like it. But there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. And I would personally challenge people out there for anything negative that you want to say about there. If you just go on there and you completely dog a show, there are shows that deserve it. There are absolutely shows that deserve that kind of treatment out there. But I hope that if you do something like that, that you then in turn will go into another thread, go to another person, and talk about things that you do like. Say, man, this is why this show is good. If you like that show was terrible. Trust me, go watch this show. That's so much better than just trashing and bashing all the time. Like I said, this is just my opinion. So I'd like to know, what are your opinions? What are your thoughts on this matter? Am I completely wrong in this thinking? If so, please tell me. Leave comments in the videos below. You can also hit me up on Twitter. I kind of lurk there pretty much all the time. Even have notifications set up on my phone because I'm a nerd, a geek, as you can tell. So I like that kind of stuff. I like talking to people and meeting people. Obviously, the Twitter handle, same name, at Yamstarch, YAMSTARCH. If you made it the whole way through this video, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, but I really hope that we can get kind of some sort of discussion, conversation going on here, and I would really like to know what you guys think. And like I said, if you think I'm wrong, please tell me. But until I decide to do another one of these, peace.